ball right field deep. Canseco back to the track, looking up. It is off his head, it looked like, and over the top. A home run.
It's been a while since he's seen a hole that big. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
He starts to come, and then he pulls out.
Josh Bynes has been coming all night long, but then he pulls out, and it's just hard.
2 inches short, maybe less. The story of my life.
Receiver coach has been blown away by Crabtree's hands and his ability to suck in these balls.
And the 3-1. Popped up. Castillo. Dropped the ball! He dropped the ball! Here comes Teixeira! And the Yankees win! Oh my goodness!
Listen in as we tackle everything in the world of sports right now. Throw your hat in the ring at 516-572-7440. This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
It is the midweek Wednesday edition of WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Josh Uyamahi joined by Nico Weech and Ross Levine. I ain't Eagle still wrong for that call. He really didn't have to say that. He really did. He really didn't need to go there. I'm just saying. He could have complimented Michael Crabtree another way, but.
Well, you know, Michael's ability to suck in these balls is just
remarkable.
It's insane. Fantastic, even.
Generational. How are we doing today, fellas? What's going on?
It's hump day.
It is.
Hump day.
It's usually I let you go off with the hump day thing and harass Corey over there. But Corey's not humping. Corey's not. Yeah, we know.
I'm not humping Corey though. That's
No. Corey David is not in today, but you know who is? Ross Levine. How we doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Good?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah. Rangers won.
Rangers won. Yeah, I'm happy about the Rangers. They're finally playing a little bit better. Not sold yet, but they're playing a little bit better.
I'll never be sold again.
Giants, though, they got their hands full with the Commanders this week.
We
got our hands full with everybody we play.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that a little bit, but I had to do it.
Hump day! Yeah!
Yes, it's hump day. I just had to get that in.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate you, Nico.
Aww.
Let's get into it. We'll start with the New York Giants. Real quick, just to kind of get your take on it, Ross. You know, they start 7-2. Yeah. Since then, they're 0-3-1. So I'm going to ask the question real quick. I want your unbiased, objective take on it, all right?
All right.
The Giants really going to go winless the second half of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe win one game, but I don't see many wins. I don't think. And listen, I don't think it's a failure of a season here. By the way, listen, nobody expected the Giants to make the playoffs this year. I think people realize that. And listen, you hear from every person that covers the Giants or is around the Giants. Listen, I listen to a podcast with Bob Pop and Carl Banks. They do the Giants games every single week. They literally said it's not a failure of a season. Okay, and they're around the team. They're watching the game. They're calling the game.
They're the voice of the Giants, so what do you expect them to say?
Well, when they were 7-2, even then they still don't think it's a failure if they miss it because of just the players that they have, the injuries, and just everything going into the season. I guess they're a lot like me, and that's why I follow them, is because they don't change their expectations, and that's like me, because they realize that this team is probably not very good. And heck, the general manager even said, we're not going to make any trades. We're not going to mortgage our future for this season. Once he said that about the trade deadline and before the season, don't expect much, I kind of expected this to happen. Once we play better competition and we're not a team that could afford to get hurt, and that's what happened. We got hurt. So, you know, one of them was his own undoing. McKinney. And that's the guy I'm the most pissed off about, probably out of anybody, because everybody, their injuries were on the football field. What are you going to do? Injuries happen on the football field, but McKinney, to me, that started this. That started the downfall, if you will. And to me, it's about really what this team's going to do to improve. Because when I watch the Giants play against these elite teams, they have a long way to go. Let's be honest, they just do. Whether they were a 7-2 team, not a 7-2 team, they have a long way to go before this team is even close to being that. And the discussion's always going to be now, is Jones the quarterback in 2023? That's it. Because what outside of Jones and I guess Barkley, what are there really is to really look at this team? I mean, nobody else on this team is probably going to be on this roster next year, outside of maybe a couple of the rookies. Outside of that, they're pretty much going to get cut.
Yeah, I mentioned it yesterday. Just, Joe Shane this season, it's his first year as GM. He's still going to be paying for the sins of Dave Gettleman.
Yeah.
So we've seen that. He's definitely going to have his opportunity to put his stamp on this roster. It's going to be looking a lot different, and it was even a miracle that the Giants started 7-2.
Yeah,
and it's not a crazy thing to say that, because we talk about the one-score games.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're at the point now in the season, it's about to be week 15. Like, you got to look at several teams for what they really are, not just what their record says. So the Giants are one of them. Yeah. You got to look at the Minnesota Vikings, too, just as a short example.
No ass boys over there?
I mean,
they are fluky.
Damn,
they're fluky.
10-3 and you stink that bad?
It's Kirk Cousins. It's truly on.
It's weird, though? I thought he played well on Sunday, but just that defense. And I said the one saving grace that they had on defense was that they turned the ball over. But if they're not doing that, Jared Goff, perfect passer rating. The Lions are charging up the standings. The fact that the Lions were even favored in that game to begin with was
wild
insanity, and the fact that they backed it up is even wilder. So I bring that up to say this, because the Giants are the 7th seed right now. They play the Commanders this week. Seahawks and Lions right behind them. Seahawks and Lions beat them head to head. So it's really not stacking up well for the Giants. But I'm curious, because we know your take on it. Yeah. But I'm curious. We have Franz here on the show. We have Corey. I'm curious. Giants fans, 516-572-7440. Like, it's trending that you're going to miss the playoffs. So if you do miss the playoffs, is it a success? Yeah. Is the season a success already, or is it a failure?
I think it's already
7-2.
It's a success. It's already a success. No matter how this ends, because I think everybody kind of saw the writing on the wall. Once they lost to the Lions, once they also lost McKinney, they lost. I mean, just look at the roster for just a second. Look at the depth chart. Their whole cornerbacks are depleted. That's a fact.
Fabian Moreau doesn't move you?
No. Oh. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's literally hurt on this team. Not to mention they have no wide receivers. Those two things their receivers are depleted. Their corners are depleted. Saquon Barkley's, let's be honest, he's banged up. That's a fact. And the line is not very good either. So, to me, they got the most out they possibly could have out of this season. The future is still very bright for the Giants. I don't think this is a failure of the season. I understand the football will look at it as like, okay, you start 7-2, 86% of the time you make the playoffs. The Giants, to me, are the exception, because they were not very talented to begin with. They don't have a lot of talent on this team. They were getting by with coaching and execution and not making mistakes. Well, they're making mistakes. They're not executing, and they're banged up. To me, it's almost about, like, right now, it's about what they're going to do in the offseason now. Because to me, these rest of these games are almost, I don't want to say meaningless, but to me, they're almost like, they're gravy. That's what they are. They're gravy. Because I'm not expecting much.
It's funny in hindsight, because when the Giants were 7-2, everyone's assuming they're going to make the playoffs. And
a playoff game even.
Yeah.
Which I never thought. I never thought that would ever happen.
Well, for good reason now, because you look at for what it really is. I mean, if you look at the season the Giants are having, the Bears, if they would have done better in one possession games,
exactly,
they could be 7-5-1. Well, so there's really, you said it, it's coaching. Brian Dable's a better coach than Eberflus over there in Chicago or anybody else.
Sure.
So it's good for the Giants. You have your coach, you have your GM. Who knows about this is actually where I wanted to go to next, the Odell thing. So Odell Beckham was getting wined and dined, and Trayvon
69.
Diggs, 69. Well,
Can't forget Jerry Jones.
Michael Parsons too.
John Gruden.
Yeah. He got taken out on a date to the Mavs game by Diggs and Parsons, and after all of that, all the visits he took, now it comes out, I'll just see y'all in 2023.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Yeah. I think it was Nico that said first, like, he just wants to get taken to dinner and told
he wants that college recruiting experience all over again.
Exactly. So it's funny how predictable some players are.
Right.
And Odell Beckham's one of them.
The Giants, I don't think he's playing a game this year.
No, he's not. No. I think that ship sailed, especially after good old Jerry Jones saw the physicals and he was like, nah. And it's so bad I got to leak it to the press and let everybody know why we're not signing him.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see what the Giants are going to do with the receiving core that they're going to have because, I mean, you would hope that it's way better next season. It can't be much worse from this season. And listen, there's already people that are questioning the coaching. Like, they're already questioning Kafka. They're already questioning Wink. They're already questioning Dable because of if this team does not make the playoffs, there's failure everywhere.
What do you expect from Giants fans? And I just got to say this. Like, Ross, you're a very level-headed Giants fan. I would say like 95% of Giants fans are just...
they're done.
Corey David.
Yeah, that's how Nico feels clearly, but for real, because it's after each win, y'all the greatest thing alive, and we're headed to the playoffs. And we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then the second y'all lose a game, it's fire Kafka, fire Dable. Like,
that's truly New York sports for you, though.
Of course.
Yeah, but
that's really like
it is
the embodiment of New York sports. They just want to win all the time, no matter what. And one loss is just gonna rub everyone the wrong way.
You're right, but. To just say fire Dable, Brian Dable's the best thing that's happened to this franchise in years, in decades.
People need to remember something before the season. This team was a dumpster fire everywhere. Remember, the whole Gelman just making every wrong pick. You're coming back. He did. I mean, the only pick he made that was good was Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas was good, and McKinney. I'll give him credit for those two guys. Those were two very good picks. But outside of that, a lot of misses, and you're coming back from that, so that's tough in itself. Joe Judge and Pat Shurmur, you're coming from that nightmare. So what do you expect? Year one of a rebuild or tear down. What do you expect going to happen this season? I mean, most teams in this position win 3 or 4 games. The Giants already won 7. So isn't that telling you you're going in the right direction? I mean, this team won 4 games last year. If they only end up winning 7 or 8 games, so you doubled your win total, and you would think you're just going to keep. I would think they're going to keep getting better. Maybe not the Eagles, what they're doing, but they're going to be getting better and better and better. And not to mention they're going to be cutting guys. They're going to have cap space, and they'll probably get a chance to pick their own quarterback if they want to. So, I love their vision right now. I don't know how much it's going to work, but I love their vision.
They're definitely headed in the right direction. We'll see if they make the playoffs or not. And obviously a huge game with the Commanders this weekend. But we do have a caller on WHPC Sports Talk. Caller, who are you? What are you calling about?
What's up, guys? This is Frankie from Flushing. How are you?
Frankie, what's going on?
Nothing much. Yeah, I was just about thinking what Ross was just saying. Before the season, if anybody said the Giants would go 9, as a Giants fan, if you said your team was going to go 9-8 and miss the playoffs, you'd sign up for that in a heartbeat. And the fact that Dable has turned these guys around in 1 year. I mean, to think that the coaches they've had in the past have been given 2-3 year deals and they've lasted 2-3 years with a miserable team. This is a team that is showing promise. And this guy should be, if he wins 9 games, he should be, they should put a plaque up in the stadium for him.
I agree with you because this Giants team is not that talented, clearly. But I don't know. I think there are some Giants fans, or more than a few Giants fans, I would say, yeah, you win 9 games, that's great, but you put yourself out of position for that, quarterback in the draft. Depending on how you feel about Daniel Jones.
I know. You know what? They got to stop thinking like that. Everybody, all these people, they think that. You know what? You got paying fans there, long-suffering paying fans for the Jets and the Giants that, we want to win now. And, whatever it takes. I don't want the draft pick. I want a winning team. Draft pick is nice, but I'd rather have a team that's 9-8 on the way up than a team that's, 3-14 and you got to wait another 5 years. And I just really think that Daboll did a great job, no matter what the outcome is. And I don't think Jones is a bad quarterback. I think they need to surround him. As I said a couple of weeks ago, he needs weapons. Saquon Barkley finally came back this year from the injuries, and he's the difference. They've got a more balanced offense, and he's got more options, and that's what they need to improve on. What's the only difference between I should say, and they should surround him with better weapons. Go out and get OBJ. I know he's a head case, but they need guys that can catch the ball and guys that can run the ball. And I think Jones would look and be a lot better.
You know what? I'll agree with you there. I think Daniel Jones, I'm not sold on him. Everyone knows that. But I think he's at least earned the right to say at least, put some guys around him and see what happens. At least for give him a 2-year deal and see what you can do there. And on the Odell front, I don't think it's going to happen this year, but I wonder if the Giants toss him a contract, obviously if his physicals check out next year with more cap space and stuff.
They need some guys with some hands. I mean, look, the Cowboys went out and got Hilton. You have to shore up your offense. The Giants' defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
As is Dallas's defense. And they can say, how are we going to win? What do we need? It doesn't hurt to have those offensive weapons. And you look at Brady. He lost several offensive weapons in Tampa, and they were under 500 team. And that's Tom Brady. And that's Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have the weapons he used to have. Look where he is. You're only as good as the players around you. And the Giants have gotten better because of the players. They've got that, at least one, Saquon Barkley back. Look what it did. I mean, add to that formula, and I think Jones is okay. He's not a bad quarterback.
He's definitely not. You know what? Because Ross brought up Carl Banks. I found it funny, something he tweeted this weekend. So a fan tweeted him, do you think Jones is the right guy at quarterback? And he answered, he's not the wrong guy.
Well,
exactly.
That's the wrong guy.
Serviceable.
Okay.
He's serviceable. Look, they won. They may win 9 games this year, and again, you got to surround them with weapons. I mean, listen, if somebody better comes along, I'm not saying great. Hold on to him. Personally, and I keep saying it on this show, I like Jimmy Garoppolo, and all the guy does is win. And again, he's not a big, sexy name, but the guy wins.
The guy, the win-loss record doesn't lie. We could talk about QB wins all we want. But before I get you out of here, Frankie, feet to the fire right now. You think the Giants make it into the playoffs or no?
No. They got a tough road ahead of them. They got to play Philadelphia. They got to play Washington again. I could see them 9-8 missing out. Is it disappointing? Yeah. When you were 7-2, yeah, it's disappointing. But again, if you go back to preseason and you said Giants are going to be 9-8 this year and just miss the playoffs, I think every one of us Giants fans would have taken that.
All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Thanks for the call, Frankie.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was just going to say about the whole thing with the quarterback situation that you're going to know before the draft what they're going to do. That's what I think. Because usually at the end of every season, when it comes to the quarterback situation or end of the year, usually a few days after the last week, you have a press conference. And usually it's with your coach and it's with your GM. You'll get an idea what they're going to do based off of what they're saying. If they're unsure, they're going to move on. If they're leaning towards we'll keep him, they'll probably give him a short-term deal. That's what I say. Based off of what I just see on the field, I would be surprised if Jones was back. Based off of what I see on the field. And not Jones himself. It's how Daboll can call the plays. Because let's put it this way, if you're setting him up as if you're doing a lot of wildcats, like Barkley's back there, now Jones, you're putting Jones at tight end or something, to me he's gone. Because what great quarterback are you doing that with? You're not doing that with anybody unless you don't trust them.
I mean, I saw Drew Brees come off the field for Taysom Hill.
But how old was Drew Brees?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's my point. Like, you're not gonna. If I have to go based off of if this team wins 8 or 9 games and he looks pretty good, I think he's back. If he wants a short-term deal, if he's asking for 4 or 5 years, no, he's gonna be gone then.
That's the question, though, and before we move on from the Giants, like, is there a team, do we see a team crazy enough to give Daniel Jones more than a 2-year deal right now?
There's always a team. Yeah.
I can name a couple.
Oh.
Broncos, Raiders.
No, the Broncos aren't.
The Broncos, Raiders.
Raiders, maybe.
Saints.
He might actually play well for you guys.
He would, but I want...
Panthers even.
That's not a bad one.
Oh, Daniel Jones on the Panthers? I'd sign up for that. I think that's a possible landing spot.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Sure.
But I don't know. The Broncos seem stuck with Russell Wilson. I don't see how they're getting out of $245 million.
They move in mysterious ways, Joshua. They are the silent horse.
On that note, let's remind everybody what they're listening to. You're listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3. WHPC is Joshua Imahi, joined by Ross Levine and Nico Each. Real quick on the Jets. Big game this week. They host the Red Hot Lions. Jets top 5 defense, Lions top 5 offense, and this guy Jared Goff. I mean, we're talking about quarterbacks and guys. Daniel Jones is a bridge quarterback. We thought Jared Goff was a bridge.
Yeah,
until
that boy's the future.
He's good.
The Lions got to keep him.
He went to. I mean, again, he was on a great team with the Rams. He did make it to a Super Bowl, though. I mean, like, that doesn't just go without saying. Like,
he beat my team to get to the Super Bowl in the process. Like, we can talk about the no call all we want, but he made some big throws in that game.
He did, and he won in overtime. And listen, the guy I give a lot of credit to on that team, I think. Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's great. I mean, I know he's crazy, but he's a good coach. I mean, you can't. They play hard for him.
Yeah,
they do.
Give me a crazy coach over X's and O's. This is what we need to do, guys. Coach any day. Like, give me Dan Campbell over a
Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur. That's the first name I was gonna say.
Yeah,
definitely give me a Dan Campbell over Dennis Allen. Oh, after the worst loss you've ever seen. Oh, yeah, we just need to correct things, and, we'll be back next week. Like, shut up. I want a guy that's going to actually hold his guys accountable, and Dan Campbell is that guy. We've seen Robert Saleh be that guy at times this year, too. Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting battle in terms of that. But it's really going to come down to, and we could talk about Mike White, and Zach Wilson's now QB2 instead of QB3. Big whoop. Joe Flacco wasn't really giving you anything backing up, so happy for Zach Wilson. He's now the backup quarterback.
Nice.
Congratulations. But
because Flacco's
going to play again.
If White gets hurt, yeah.
Nah, even if he doesn't get hurt, he's going to play again.
You know what? It's lining up perfectly for Zach Wilson. Because if Mike White was going to be healthy the entire time, I would actually stay on my take that Zach Wilson's done in the Jets uniform. But the fact that, number one, Mike White has this rib injury that's not going to go away for the last 4 weeks of the year.
No.
And then Joe Flacco.
He's a statue.
He needs to go sit down and get a life alert badge and just chill out for the rest of his life. Because I don't want to see. Why are you still playing? You don't give the team anything.
I'm not going to lie. When he's on the field, he's basically sitting on the bench. If you really think, he's not even moving. Like, when you sit on the bench, you don't move. And you're out there and you're holding the belt. Fumble. That's Flacco. I mean,
he's just collecting paychecks.
No, I don't blame him. He won a Super Bowl.
He's
an elite quarterback. Hall of Famer, even.
Social Security checks, because the NFL checks. I think the game's passed you by, my boy. Like, take a seat, please. But that aside, like, the Jets, it's going to be Sauce Gardner, the crew, the secondary, the pass rush against the Lions offense. Jameson Williams coming right back. Touchdown on his first catch, and then last week making plays on Amon-Ra St. Brown. You can go all the way down the list. They're a talented offensive team.
Jets are going to get smacked.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
It's going to be like a Lions versus Jaguars game.
I know we picked the games on Friday, but
I think the Jets have to. If they're that great of a defense, they have to be able to stop a good offense.
Yeah, but that defense is going to be out a lot.
No, I know. They'll be out there a lot. Yeah.
And the one thing you can say is that the Lions, their defensive stats don't look great, but they've been a lot better lately. And one thing they've done well all year long is stop the run.
Yeah,
so if the Jets, if they can't get Bam Knight going, if they can't get that running game going, Nico's right. It's going to be a long day for the New York Jets. You know what? I got to roll with the Lions.
Yeah,
I got to roll with the Lions. I think.
What's the weather?
Oh, we got to check that.
Because that's big.
I hope it snows.
That may not be good for Goff. I like Goff, but that's not good for him. He's not great on the road.
It's gonna be sunny, 39 degrees.
Oh, then they're cooked. The
Jets. You know what? To that point, Ross, I hear a lot of guys, and me and Nico know our guy Tua. He's catching some.
He's not MVP anymore, Josh.
That's over.
It's out.
I know.
Bad 2 weeks for him.
And what was the report after Sunday night? It was 55 degrees in the dome, and he had heaters.
They had propane heaters.
I mean, if you're going to try to beat the Miami bias that you get, this team's not going to be real in January football. Like, you can't have heaters in 55-degree weather. Like, that's not going to help your case. So,
that plus, concussions are coming up on Tua now.
Yeah.
Catching up to him.
You're not wrong there. We wondered after we saw him practically knocked out dead on Thursday night. Like, yeah, he's going to come back, and he came back great. He had a great stretch. Didn't throw a single pick for a number of weeks, but
yeah, he's injury prone, unfortunately.
Injury prone, and these last 2 weeks, you want to talk about the defenses he went up against. Now the Niners, they make the GOAT Tom Brady look terrible. So I can't really say anything about that, but the Chargers.
Yeah, you can't only score 17. But they see Tua. Give him credit for even the first time he came back and played, and that's the same thing I feel with White. I mean, give him credit even against Buffalo. I know they lost, but for him to come back twice from that injury, I give him credit. This is why players love White, because of stuff like that, and they don't like Zach Wilson. So you're not playing Zach.
I still find it funny. The first day, Zach Wilson, you hear of the benching, the whole team is wearing Mike effing White shirts.
Oh, no, they hate Wilson. They absolutely
He's out.
He's gone.
He'll probably play another game this year, but he's definitely out.
He's going to Carolina. Right?
Carolina, maybe L.A.
I love that Carolina's just the, not retirement home, but the
second bus stop for Jets quarterbacks.
Exactly. Yeah. The nursing home for reject starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
He could honestly go to the Ravens.
Yeah, after Lamar Jackson demands a trade because the offense is terrible and guys like Corey David are saying Tyler Huntley could do everything that Lamar Jackson can. He needs that whole thing needs to just stop.
I know.
Both sides just need to move on. Ravens can roll out Tyler Huntley if they really believe that. Lamar Jackson could be a Jet or
a 49er. Me and Eric were talking about this on Monday. They could be shipping out all the quarterbacks this offseason.
If Lamar's a Niner, there's Super Bowl contenders guaranteed.
If Lamar's a Niner, that team is the Super Bowl team.
Y'all just broke me with this hypothetical.
Trey Lance, he's not going to ever be the starting quarterback at Stanford.
Hey, Trey Lance, come on down to New Orleans, bro.
Jimmy G, he's out. If Brock Purdy's their future, if it's not anyone else.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what?
Right.
He's really good.
Brock Purdy, and you heard the Fox guys trying to compare him to Tom Brady in their story, but regardless of all of that, this kid looked good. This kid looked in total command of the offense.
This is the first quarterback I really see thriving in that San Fran offense.
Because he can move around. Yep. He's an accurate passer, and even though some passes were underthrown, it's his first start.
It's okay. It's just, he's just probably concerned and probably panicking with throws.
Yeah. And I said this on Friday, I think, where it was he's in a perfect position to succeed. Yeah. McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, who should be, he's thankfully not out for the season. It looked like an ACL almost, but he's good. But you have Ayuk still, and you have guys on that offense, George Kittle. So
I get so jealous watching them, and I really,
same here.
Yeah, I get jealous because they don't this guy was literally, what pick was he? What round? 5th?
He was the last pick.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Okay, so that guy, they could score 35 points in his first game. Meanwhile, for the Giants and I guess for the Saints, it's like pulling teeth just to get 20 points. It is frustrating. I mean, I watched that. the Chiefs score 34, meanwhile Mahomes scores 3 picks. 34 points, no problem. For us, it's like pulling teeth to get 20 points or get a first down even sometimes. Really,
Yo, I can't talk the Saints with a right state of mind after that Monday night game.
I'm just jealous.
I think that broke me forever. Like, I'm gonna remember that game. The Saints could be 13-0. We could be talking about Super Bowl aspirations.
They'll never be a Super Bowl champion.
I'll remember that game, and I'll be like, damn. You think of 7 different ways to lose a game. Mark Ingram, they're going to say, MCL tear. That's why he ran out of bounds. Bro, you're right there.
That's as bad as it gets.
You know what? They're a relevant team. I want to talk about relevant teams today. So let's switch gears and let's talk about the New York Mets. And I want to talk about the Mets from this perspective, right? We could talk about all the players they signed and what more they need to do and who they need to target for the bullpen, who they need to target for another bat. But I want to talk about all the losers that want to talk about Steve Cohen. He's really how did the small market teams feel? This guy's just spending money. How dare he? What are we talking about?
A bucket, bro.
I just I listened to, like I said yesterday, the Michael Kay show was talking about this on my way in yesterday, and they're like, Michael Kay's like, I don't blame Steve Cohen, but how do small market teams feel? And the New York Yankees, they have $100 million listed for payroll. I'm like, shut up, shut
awful.
up.
If people really cared, there would have been a salary cap in this league.
That, and if people really cared, the owners had their chance to not approve Steve Cohen. So, y'all welcomed in your own hell. Congratulations. I think it was only the Brewers owner that voted no.
The only sane person in the MLB.
He didn't vote for him.
He was the only guy to be like, not succumb to peer pressure and be like, this guy being owner might be bad for me.
Maybe Steve was just like handing out paintings to whoever said yes.
Maybe. I mean, listen, he's got $1 billion, gazillion dollars. Like, he can do whatever he wants, and he's a Mets fan. Brayton said it yesterday. He's the most wealthy Mets fan in the world. So guess what he's going to do? Yeah. He's going to try to win. He's going to try to win. He's going to sign Verlander and Senga and Kitana and all those guys. I know Nico loved the Senga signing.
I was so happy about that.
I love that sign.
If we could have gone Correa, though, that would put the cherry on top.
You know what?
13 years, though. I don't know.
Yeah, 13 years is wild.
They definitely made it that long to get the number down, I think.
Yeah. But 13 years.
I would never give him that for 13 years.
You got to live in the Bay, too. Like, Bay rent isn't cheap.
No.
That's going to be half gone in, like, I don't know. But it's the weird thing about the length of baseball contracts where you're giving Correa 13 years. Xander Bogaerts gets 11 years.
That's... Yeah.
The Padres and the Giants were just like, all right.
Yo, what was this I was hearing? Fernando Tatis to the Yankees?
What?
I've been hearing that report for like weeks now.
I don't know why the Yankees would do that.
They would never do that.
They're so interested in Fernando Tatis.
Y'all gonna get me talking about the Yankees dress code and stuff. Like, does Tatis fit? No, I'm not gonna talk about that.
No, he would not fit the culture.
You're like, you want me to do what? No,
actually, I kind of want to see that. I want to see this happen.
You want to see the army haircut? You want to see the beard shade? Tattoo removal?
Would really prove a lot of things that I'm already wondering about the New York Yankees organization.
Listen, if they wouldn't break that code for that guy, like, if all things considered, I know he's a kind of a head case and hasn't been healthy, but if you're talking about Tatis prime, all things considered equal, if I'm the Yankees, I'm like, you know what, you can kind of keep that hair along a little bit. It's no problem. Come on down. Like, but this is the discourse with New York baseball right now. I hate to say it, Yankee fans, but I've been hearing a lot of crying. And it's funny.
They don't spend anymore. They really don't. Not as much as they used to.
But think about it. They still have a $250 million payroll.
Yeah, no, but according to Michael Kay and Yankee fans, that's not enough. You got to go over 400. I'm just going by what they want. I mean, that's it's embarrassing. I mean, look, the only thing Michael Kay, by the way, has ever defended the Mets was actually a week ago when DeGrom had that awful press conference when he was introduced by Texas. That was it. That was the only time. And because that press conference was just embarrassing. It was awful. If you listen to that press conference that DeGrom had in Texas,
Mets
fans are going to hate that guy.
So
for a long time.
Jacob, why do you decide to leave the 101 win Mets for the Texas Rangers? Well, I just wanted to win, you know.
Dude, third place is going to be so much fun for him.
Like, bro, just be honest. Just keep it 100 with us. Just be like, they gave me.
They don't have rats in the streets.
Damn. I'm among my people in Arlington, Texas. Like, I don't know. Like, just keep it real with us. Like, they gave you $220 million over 6 years, and the Mets weren't. Actually, no, we don't even know if the Mets weren't willing to do that because you never went back to Steve Cohen to try to match the offer.
The Mets were going to give him 3 years, 120. That's what they were going to give. He wanted 5 years. The Mets were never going there.
Well, good riddance.
Yeah.
No sane person would give that man 5 years.
Bro, he has his elbow slides off the bone every 5 starts.
It's like pulled pork. It just
that's what we're talking about. Like, I'm not giving that guy. I'm not giving that guy $220 million. Got me messed up. Like, no, ain't happening. But enjoy Texas because you wanted to win going to a team that won, by my math, over 30 less games than the Mets last year. But you wanted to win,
and they just be blowing money away.
Yeah, Seager, DeGrom now. Who else? Simeon.
Oh, damn.
Oh, boy.
He should have been a Blue Jay. Should have been a Blue Jay.
Yeah.
Andrew Heaney. Oh, what a
Andrew
great
Heaney, too.
What a great rotation.
I say this phrase often. It's even on the Thursday intro now, putting makeup on a pig. The Rangers are putting makeup on a pig. We know what this is. We just know what this is.
They never like rebuilding. That's what I've always seen. They always like to win, try to compete. The problem is they never do. So that's... Yeah, so they don't realize that they are in a division with the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners. So, DeGrom, you're going to have to go up against those two guys probably 10 times. Good luck.
Ohtani and Trout if they're healthy too.
Yeah, so I don't know why you wanted to go there, but okay. I hope your team loses so badly, but okay.
And that's the truth about Steve Cohen in that statement, Ross, because everyone wants to talk about Steve Cohen's just blowing money. He's blowing money at all these guys, but if you really look into the fine print, it's really like thoughtful spending. If it was reckless spending, we would have given Correa $400 million yesterday.
And it's winning spending.
Winning spending. Like, I saw the number where it was Verlander, Senga, and Katana signed for $188 million. DeGrom, the same amount. So you're paying 3 starters. Like, it's smart spending.
Well, yeah, and you also know Verlander's, going to give you 60-something starts in these 2 years.
And he's also bringing Kate Upton, and I think that's the biggest
you're absolutely right.
addition to
You're absolutely right.
thing.
You're absolutely right. Like, double whammy right there. Like, it's just a better move from any side you look at it.
I hope she's there opening day.
Oh, she will be.
We're going.
Where are we on the proposal that she should be the new Mrs. Met?
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah?
Yeah. She doesn't have to wear anything Mets related.
That's what I'm saying.
Like she just has to be out there.
Just revise the uniform a little bit. Like, come on now. That's all I'm saying.
That's you know. I could already sense it. We're gonna be in like April 30th. DeGrom's 4th start. My elbow. My elbow.
It's just gonna collapse on the mound. It's like, yeah, I've had it.
I've fallen and I can't get up with an elbow injury.
Well,
bro. Maybe he's going to be an ayahuasca drinker. He's going to follow in Aaron Rodgers' footsteps and
oh god, doing that in Texas too.
Oh, boy.
That'd be fun.
Everything's big in Texas.
Oh, Jesus.
Enjoy Texas, Jacob. Enjoy
objects, ideologies.
Enjoy.
He's going to be having a great.
Like I said, he's in his element in Arlington, Texas. All right,
he loves it there.
He's going to be linking up with Jerry Jones and the crew.
It's a shame because I actually like
Bruce
dinners. It's a shame. I actually like Bruce Bochy, but everybody else now I don't like other than Bruce Bochy.
Oh, I love Bruce Bochy. I think Bruce Bochy, if you look at him as a manager, what he's done with the Giants, you can't hate that guy. But everything else, you're right.
Yeah.
See what the caller has to say. Caller, you're on WHPC Sports Talk. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? Calling you from Nevada. It's funny with all the money that's getting tossed around, but the teams, the Oaklands of the world, the Pittsburghs of the world, I mean, they have absolutely no chance whatsoever to actually even put a 500 club. And what do you tell your fans when you can't spend money?
Get over it.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I get the concerns of small market teams, especially with what the Mets are doing, what the Yankees have done my entire life. But there's ways. We've seen the Tampa Bay Rays get around it. We've seen teams like, I don't know what the Red Sox are trying to do right now, but I think they're trying to follow that same model. Maybe it's the elitist New Yorker in me, but I struggle to feel sympathy for these small market teams. There's ways to win and get around.
I mean, truly, they do it to themselves, letting these people buy teams. So
exactly.
Well, and again, as I brought up to you before, you have the balanced schedule coming up. So instead of playing your division foes 19 times, you're only going to be playing them 12 times. That's going to work again for the American League East and the National League East. They're going to feast, and they're going to have really, really good win records. When you look at the quality of the teams in the East, with both the American and National League.
You're right. It's those two divisions are some of the best divisions. I would call it the two best divisions in baseball. I know people could argue, but you have less interdivision games, and the Mets have games like the Tigers and the Athletics and all this. Like, they're going to eat. The NL East and the AL East are going to eat.
And as far as Met fans, and you would be a better judge with Chris Bassett, how do you think, and this is one of the reasons nobody wanted to sign him, how do you think he's going to react to the 15-second pitch clock?
I love the fact that you said that, Dave, because I said that, I think, on Thursday, where it was that and the fact that you're welcoming him in a young rookie catcher. I don't want Francisco Alvarez dealing with this guy just bitching on the mound every 5 minutes about what pitch to call and the pitch clock. He's just a prima donna. I don't want it. Good luck wherever he goes to, but I don't want it here.
When you do get a chance, you've got to. They redid the pickoff rules this year.
Okay.
The pitcher is allowed to step off twice. He's allowed to throw over twice. When he steps off, if he steps off the third time, if you don't throw the runner out, whether a pickoff at first base or catching him stealing, he is automatically awarded second base.
Wow.
Yeah, think about it. I mean, think about if you have a very good runner, then maybe a light hitting runner, but he automatically becomes a double, and not to mention the fact he gets into the opposing pitcher's head.
I like that. I really like that new rule.
That's a great rule. We could talk about baseball rules, what works and what doesn't work, but that's a good one. All that tells me is that the Mets need to give Terrence Gore a contract.
Yeah.
He wins World Series.
Give him a blank check. What are we talking about?
Think about it when it comes to the Ghost Runner.
Oh, that's a good point. Is the Ghost Runner, what's the deal with the Ghost Runner? Are we still keeping that around?
I think it's one more year before they actually go back. But, again, baseball is a fickle agent. They never know, what they're doing one year to the next. But, you think about it in extra innings, all of a sudden, anybody with a little bit of speed, that single or that walk becomes a double.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully Rob Manfred, he gets a clue one of these days. But thank you for the call, Dave.
My pleasure.
All right. Well, I think it's going to be an interesting season in baseball, especially here in New York. And Yankee fans, I just want to don't listen to your leader, your almighty leader, Michael Kay. Actually, think for yourself and be like, we've enjoyed our success of spending our entire lives. So Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman want to change things up. Okay. See if you can still get it done. You still have large contracts with...
They won't.
Well, yeah.
They're trash. My team's running that division. We just got Chris Bassett. Don't play with me.
The Jays. The Jays.
Doesn't that make sense for Bassett? I mean, because if you really think about it, you could tell he did not want to be in New York. It was pretty obvious based off that press conference after that elimination game.
Right.
And I don't know, Toronto, they don't really care much about baseball. Perfect spot for him. I'm just telling you.
I would disagree with that. Blue Jays are kind of crazy. Their fans are kind of crazy.
But that's more of a
pitching rotation's kind of crazy too.
Yeah,
now.
but
not wrong.
Yeah, but if you look at Toronto, though, if you look at really Toronto, that's more of a hockey town than a baseball.
Obviously,
definitely. Yeah. But
I'm just saying, all their
listen,
sports.
when the Blue Jays are rocking, that city loves them.
I know, but it's not. Let's put it this way: it's not the biggest media market in the world. I don't know. It's not that big.
No, you're right. It's the fans won't harass you, like they do in New York. So,
yeah,
unless you're Jose Bautista, they'll probably, yeah.
I still I laugh at Charles Barkley saying that Toronto was a clean New York.
He's actually so right. Have you been to Toronto, Josh?
I have.
I love Toronto.
Toronto's so great.
Like every block, there's a strip club, and then but everything's clean, and beautiful, and just there's so much life in that city.
Everything's just cleaner. There's no rats on the streets. There's
people are nice.
Yeah, people are actually nice in Toronto. Man, I can't walk nowhere in Brooklyn without somebody being like, "What are you looking at?" Like, bro, I can't even ride on the 2 train without somebody being like, "Yo, I was sitting there." Like, bro, stop. Maybe I'll consider getting my going up to customs, getting my passport, and making a full-time move there. I miss you guys, though. I would.
Good.
All right, Nico.
You're not going anywhere.
Nico always ruining the moment over there. All right, fellas, let's talk to New York Rangers.
Ugh.
Wow.
Why?
What do you mean, ugh?
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Because they just, they give me so much hope, and then they're going to lose.
So you sound like me with the Knicks. So you think this 4-game winning streak, you just beat the Devils, who have lost 2 straight yet?
Yeah, it's cute. Give me like 13 straight games, and I'll,
They
say it's cute.
They got to win like 12 out of 15 for me, like actually say they're going to salvage something out of
Yeah, I need an insane record by like February to feel confident.
Otherwise, they're going to be like selling or something.
They look good though.
They do. They played well against the Devils, and that's pretty good.
Yeah. This is a nice comeback. I thought if they were going to lose that game, Gallant was definitely on his way out, especially with how that game started.
Yeah.
So as a casual, sorry to cut you off, Ross. As a casual, I only repeat the things that actual hockey fans know. So Brayton said yesterday that the kids, they saved Gallant's job, and I completely agree. Good on the kids for...
He's not wrong. Capo Caco, that boy's on fire now. He's finally putting the puck in the back of the net. Laffy's doing great. Philip Hedl is probably, I don't know about what you think, Ross, but it's the top 5 Ranger right now.
That tells you a lot about this team.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, well,
that's not a good thing.
It tells me a lot about, they shouldn't have signed Vincent Trocheck to a 5-year deal in the offseason.
It's not even that. They should have just kept for Toronto. I don't know why they didn't. I mean, they all right, you lose Strome, whatever, but you know, for Toronto, I would have kept him. I mean, to me, the two that sting are him and Mott. Those two sting.
Mott hurts the most to me, and then I would say Kopp. I really liked Andrew Kopp on that second line. I thought he worked really well.
But wasn't Trocheck the replacement?
Trocheck replaced both Kopp and Strome, technically.
And Trocheck is better than Strome.
No, he definitely is. But Philip Hedl, that boy should be in the top 6, without a doubt.
Yeah.
He's great. I would say he's the Obi Toppin of the New York Rangers.
Wow.
That's where I'd put him.
That's high praise if you're saying that to me. You know what? We'll kind of table this as a Madison Square Garden sports discussion, because I do see a lot of similarities with the Rangers and the Knicks, who have also won 4 straight. It's funny. I brought this up yesterday's show. So the Knicks lose to the Mavs on that Sunday. They gave up 1 million points in the second half of that game. And I'm waiting for Donovan Mitchell to come in Madison Square Garden, drop 50 points, send Tibbs on his way to wherever the hell. Hopefully
Nebraska.
Nebraska, grow that beard out and start a new life, you know what I mean? But what did the Knicks do? And what do not only the Knicks, but what do their young players do? They play their hearts out on defense. Deuce McBride's in the rotation. You take Cam Reddish out, which I kind of disagree with, but I can't disagree with 4 straight wins.
Yeah,
so I
true,
guess,
but
Cam Reddish should be playing.
There's got to be some beef that we don't know about.
Got to be, because it makes no sense that a team that, whether you want to say they're rebuilding or not, regardless, it's a 9-man rotation. You can't slide Cam Reddish in there. Instead, you'd rather choose to play R.J. Barrett 44 minutes a game, and you're going to destroy his ACLs like you did Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose got Stockholm Syndrome, by the way. The fact that you keep running back to this guy after... No, for real. Because the fact that you keep running back to this guy after he's leaving you in 13-point playoff game blowouts.
Like, Daddy Tibbs, let me come along. Let me come to New York with you.
Follows him everywhere. Follow him to 3 different teams. That's I hate to call it
commitment.
It's
That's commitment.
He loves
Maybe
Tibbs.
They're married.
Maybe. Well, I'm not gonna go where I thought about going, but what can you say about the Knicks too? Like, I feel the same way Nico does though, because they're 14-13. Yay, 6th in the East. We'll see if that lasts. Especially you got 2 games against Chicago, who's very disappointing, If they lose the next couple of games down the stretch, the Bulls, they might be selling off DeRozan and Vucevic and Zach LaVine. So they're kind of in the purgatory of like, and it could go either way.
Yeah.
So if the Knicks, I almost cursed. If this stuff is real, go into Chicago, beat a team that you're better than twice. I know it's tough to win
do you think
2 games in a row on the road, but
do you think they're really better than Chicago though?
I mean, I hate to quote Bill Parcells and like, oh, your record says what you are, but I think so. I think with the way, well, it depends on if Jalen Brunson's going to play because he's questionable tonight.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play, we might get smacked.
Hold on. First off, sorry to Jalen Brunson's girlfriend, wife, whatever the hell, she is bad as hell.
You're not wrong. I found that picture funny because number one, the Knicks are a bunch of milk merchants. And secondly, Nico, you're absolutely
the comments were insane on that picture.
you gotta look at it for what it is. Like I'm just pointing out what I see.
You're not wrong. It's
yeah, I'm just saying, you're looking at the picture like, y'all got the same taste?
And then homie on the right, he's the only one pulling for the team.
It's funny, like he flipped the script on us. I wasn't expecting that.
He was like, Uno reverse. Got him.
Yo.
But Jalen Brunson's girl is I tweeted about that last night. I got in trouble this morning by my girlfriend. So.
Be like that. See,
I regret nothing.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. She's so fun.
We just can't. We can't tweet nothing around here.
Nothing.
Like I can see Taylor Rooks on the TV. I'm not going to tweet nothing. I can't say anything. It's at the point now where she pops up on the TV, and my girl look at me like, give me the side eye. Like,
she knows.
Yeah. Well, what can you say? But yeah, the Knicks. They're basketball. Jalen Brunson is questionable. I'm sure with what he has going on, he wouldn't mind taking a day off or a night off or a couple of nights off. You know what I mean? In Chicago,
just hang out with his girlfriend.
Yeah, why not?
He hasn't looked right anyway the last month.
No, you can tell there's definitely something going on. He's last couple of games uncharacteristically shooting inefficiently.
Yeah, I think it's that ankle. That ankle is probably bothering him. Ever since he suffered that ankle, then he can't even shoot free throws with that ankle.
Yeah, I think he's questionable. Will Tibbs play him? Probably.
You let him take a break.
Yeah,
he's truly been carrying your team all season.
Absolutely, but this is Tom Thibodeau we're talking about.
Yeah, he loves breaking ACLs.
You think he's gonna do? You think he's gonna do the smart thing and start Emmanuel quickly for one game?
Honestly,
he doesn't like young guys. I don't know. He had to be a really bad teacher because I don't know. He doesn't like young guys.
He's into DILFs.
He's into what?
DILFs.
Oh. You repeated it. Well, we can put Tom Thibodeau's personal preferences aside and say,
can we?
We can't for 7 minutes. You know,
he doesn't like Reddish. He doesn't like. He never liked Reddish. Even when
I don't understand why. I'll never be able to understand why. Even if it comes out that there's beef, I still won't understand why.
I just think that
you traded for this dude.
He didn't want that though.
But this is what there's so much miscommunication in this team.
Thank you so much for saying that, because Leon Rose,
figure out direction.
Have a direction and be in lockstep. I don't care if the Knicks plan was tanking. I don't care if the Knicks plan was to trade for Donovan Mitchell and try to trade for more stars and try to win a championship. Can you at least show me bare minimum that your coach and your GM and your president and your owner are all in lockstep?
Yeah.
Because I don't see that still. I know they've won 4 straight. Yay. I still don't see that.
This is why I said if they're going to fire Tom, you got to clean house. Because to me, when does it ever work where you fire the coach, you keep the GM, you let the GM keep bringing another coach, and that ever work out? It never does. So I would clean house, get a new GM, and have that guy pick the coach. If that GM comes from the Warriors, because I actually heard they are.
I saw that same exact thing you saw, Ross, where the Golden State Warriors GM, Bob Myers, he's without a contract.
Oh, you sign me easily.
Yo, Dolan, I know you're listening, bro. I know you're listening to WHPC Sports Talk, bro. What else should you be doing? Anyway, if you read that same rumor, James, give that man a blank check. Have him write whatever amount you want, because this guy is actually, if you look across the NBA, that guy might be the guy to save Knicks basketball. Bob Myers from the Golden State Warriors. Because if you're talking about what they've done in terms of, they have Curry and Thompson and Draymond Green and all these guys, but the youth movement they've had, he knows how to find talent. I don't know. I'm not sold on Leon Rose's plan for stars. And when it's time, Leon Rose, when the stars pull up, is like some people when the girls pull up. It's just like, it's just not. That's Leon Rose.
It's such a New York mindset.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's disgusting. It's exactly. It's funny. It's exactly what guys like Donnie Walsh and guys like Isaiah Thomas, guys like that were doing. Where it's like it's the same thing. You just put a different title on it. Because this guy's an agent of the biggest agency in basketball, that have Devin Booker and Karl Anthony Towns and all these guys signed to it. Like we're not getting any of those guys.
Yeah.
So
to me, if I find it hard to believe that the Warriors are just going to let this guy go, but if he is gone, I'd pick him up immediately. And listen, he probably is going to want his own coach.
Ime
Udoka.
Get him.
Maybe.
Get him. This team would be so good with those two guys. Even with the roster how it is now, they'd just be balling.
I'm gonna say this. I'm sorry if you've been caught up in the workplace with certain scandals and stuff. If this offends you, I am so sorry. But I would love to see Ime Udoka as the Knicks head coach. I don't care. Get him here.
Ime with JB's girl.
Okay. You
see it now? It doesn't make sense.
And Ime's a milk merchant too, though. Yeah. So how is that? It's not. Yeah. Actually, I don't know.
Maybe she's a team player.
Maybe, Nico. Maybe.
I want to get signed by the Knicks. Thank you.
I know who he would hire.
Who would he hire?
Kenny Atkinson. It would be easy.
Yeah,
Kenny.
But
easy. Kenny's an assistant from the Warriors. You'd hire him.
There's really no flavor in that, though.
I know, but he'd hire him, though. I'm just telling you.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I would rather have him over Tibbs.
Yeah, I think he's gonna hire Kenny Atkinson. I really do. He knows him the most because he's the coach. He's underneath Steve Kerr, and that's who the Knicks should have gotten, Steve Kerr. But no, Kerr said no.
That's a smart man.
Kerr said no to the Knicks.
I don't think there's a man in sports history smarter than Steve Kerr for making that decision. I think he's very happy with 4 rings and Steph Curry in Golden State.
Yeah.
Over getting fired in 2 years with the Knicks.
You think he would have gotten fired with 2 years? You think? I think you're right, though.
He would have, instead of coaching Steph Curry, he would have been coaching Langston Galloway. So I gotta say, Aaron
Aflalo,
and how could we forget Derek Williams,
Lou Amundsen?
that was such a dark period in my life.
Alonzo Trier, I liked him.
He was all right.
I actually like Trier. I don't know what happened to him.
The Knicks happened to him. David Fizdale actually happened to him. Where is David Fizdale now? Is he? Oh, he's in Utah. Yeah, he's in Utah.
Utah,
right where he belongs. That's the number one place I would have wished he wound up. I think David Fizdale would enjoy Utah more than people would typically enjoy Utah. This is how I feel about him. But any final thoughts before we close out the midweek Wednesday edition of WHPC Sports Talk?
New York Knicks, Leon Rose. If you're looking for a 5'6" point guard, and I could help you guys out.
I saw you win that one-on-one game with Eric in the back.
I had my Corey David moment. I did. I drove the net, and that's what I can do as a 5'6" point guard. Catch me in mini hoops.
Were you beating your chest like a gorilla?
No.
No? Okay. That'll do it for today's show. Thank you once again from Nico Weish, Ross Levine. I'm Joshua Yamahi. Thank you once again for listening to the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.